What's up, guys? This episode ended up being unbelievably hilarious. It was such a good time with, you got to pronounce it right, Raanan Hershberg. He's got a special out right now. It's premiering if you're watching this Thursday, tonight, and then it's up on YouTube after that. So go watch it. I'll go check him out. He's a hilarious comedian. I hope you enjoy this. Patreon.com/Yannis Pappas Hour for our weekly bonus episodes. You're going to enjoy those as well.
Yannis Pappas. Yeah. When you all tucked up in the day long, and the news online going on and on, what's right and wrong, and it's something up. Now here comes a Greek kid you know you can trust. From the true who's who to the news and cameras to the fake politics and the propaganda. Yeah, this kid's screwed in, got a lot to say. Oh shit, it's about to be a long day. It's a long day.
Guys, we are brought to you today by Freeze Pipe. Freeze pipes are beautiful, and they are constructed and made to take away the harsh feeling of taking the smoke in your lungs. Just takes it away. No more throat burning, no more coughing attacks when you're smoking cannabis. Your solution is Freeze Pipe. The secret is freezable glycerin chambers that cool smoke by over 300 degrees. Very easy. You put them in the freezer. They got pipes. They got bongs. It's a chilly solution, guys. It's going to remove that afterburn. No more coughing. So right now, go to freezepipe.com. Use the code Yannis for 10% off your entire order. That's freezepipe.com. Code Yannis for 10% off. Order today and get free shipping. That's nice. And say goodbye to harsh smoke forever. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Yannis Pappas Hour. Hey, numbers going back up on YouTube. We got our strong, loyal following on Spotify. The real people who work jobs. Listen, this is what I think. The people on YouTube, they're fair weather. They tune in, they tune out. It depends on what the comment. But you got the hardcore people listening in their cars. We all know they're Hondas and Subarus. And I'm happy to be the president of the Hyundai Subaru crowd. We got a very hilarious comedian here today. I'm going to say it right now for the algorithm on YouTube. He's got a special out.
Yep.
Let's start it with that so people know. That's the reason you're here. You're not here because fucking we went to Jewish camp together.
I would have gone on anyway.
Yeah.
But well, this was 2 hours away from my home. But
anyone who comes here is not big enough to say no. That's what I always say.
I was thinking, I was like, did Louis come all the way here?
Yeah, and that was another thing where I'm going, wow, Louis has really fallen. First of all, he's in here. Second of all, he's trying to flush the toilet.
But yeah, I got a special called Brave on YouTube. Go to my YouTube, and my name's hard to spell, so if you can't spell my name, you can go. I created a website that takes you to the YouTube thing. It makes it sound a little retarded, but it's bravespecial.com.
Bravespecial.com, because your name is pronounced not Raanan. A
Raanan.
lot of people want to do Raanan.
A lot of people, yeah.
But then you want them to know that you're neutral in the Israel-Palestine. You go, my name is Raanan. Raanan.
I was getting an Uber, and it was an Arab driver. He's like, "What's that name, Raanan?" And I
You
was
went,
like,
Raanan.
I was like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. My parents thought of it playing Scrabble. I don't know. It's not.
It's a great name, dude. Raanan?
Yeah. I mean, it is Israeli.
Yeah, but Raanan. Yeah, it's Israeli. You're a Jewish guy. Raanan. That's like you expect a big fucking tough dude to walk in the room when you hear Raanan's coming over, and then you walk in, you hit him.
And I live up to that completely.
Yeah, you come in, you got comedic energy, and
it is tough having an Israeli name, and every Uber driver.
Right now, it's tough to have an Israeli name.
Every Uber driver is pretty much Arab.
So it's going to be a little weird in the yellows.
It's going to be a little
weird in the yellows. Yeah.
I'll be on the phone talking about Israel, then I'll get in the Uber and I'll be like, I have to talk. We'll talk later.
It's funny. You're on the phone with your mom and you got to pretend like it's someone else. Yeah, the bank's calling. Yeah, no, that's cool. My account still has that. You got all these codes for I'll meet you for dinner.
Yeah.
The bank, I got $4 left. Yeah, okay.
Trying to hide my Jewishness. Yeah. Over tipping like crazy.
But it's okay, because as you explained it, this special is going to bring people together. It's going to end that conflict.
It's going to bring peace to the Middle East.
That's what everyone in the comedy community is saying this special will end it. It'll be in the history books. This will drop.
We're ending it, yeah.
And there will be no more conflict between people who have different religions or Border disputes.
Yeah, it's people. Everyone else is trying to get like views. I'm going to the next level and try to bring global peace.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck the views.
Since you've announced your special, Ukraine and Russia, fucking violence down.
Yes.
Things have cooled down. You even saw Putin come and say, I want to end this.
Yes.
Here's my conditions. I just want these places that I've already conquered.
Because,
and I want Ukrainians to fucking, I want them one at a time to suck my dick. He did. He did, it was in Russian, so we didn't get that part.
Well, you watch me doing stand-up, and you have such pity for me that it brings people together.
Right.
Everyone's like, let's come together and pity him. You know what I mean?
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah, but he made that speech because he watched your special.
Yes.
That's the word on the street.
I'm very, like with Putin, I'm so, like, have you seen his wife? Picture of his wife?
She's like a ballerina, right?
Yeah, she's hot as shit,
She's
obviously.
hot as shit,
I mean, if she wasn't hot, that'd be crazy.
It would be
That would
crazy.
mean he chose out of anyone like an unattractive. But
which is what Macron did. Which
yeah, I
is
guess
wild.
that's true. Well, I think Putin might have a little more power on who he chooses. You know?
Well, no, Macron. I mean, France isn't. I mean, that's a G7, right?
Yeah, but I guess I'm saying Russia's more fascist. He can just probably like.
Oh, you mean he just probably went to the ballet and was like,
yeah.
Yeah,
it's like Saddam Hussein's wife. It's like, she might not have as much choice in the matter.
He didn't have to win her over at a bar.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was a different time. But she's hot enough for me not to worry about nuclear war, which is good. She's so hot
I like this.
that you're like, well, he's not going to blow up the world.
Right.
Because she's fucking hot.
Right.
If she was ugly, I'd be scared.
Right.
If she was ugly, I'd be really scared. Because sometimes you really want to get out of a bad marriage any way possible.
But what if but the pretty ones can be problematic.
Yeah. Make
What
you
if
go
this
crazy.
fucking war is all because his wife is breaking his chops, dude?
Yeah, he's just trying to feel like a man.
Or
She's calling him a pussy.
Yeah,
That's
calling
all
him
you
a
can take of Ukraine, you fucking queer.
I fucked one of the male ballerinas. Yeah. He's like, I thought they were all gay. He's like, no, dude. Like Cat Williams said, if you want to pick up chicks, you hang out with chicks.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, but it's a good point. I guess I should be worried then.
What would you? She's hot. Would you?
Oh yeah.
Would you rather be the guy that she cheats on Putin with, or never make it in comedy at all?
Be the guy that she cheats on Putin with. So you're saying I get like murdered?
Well, I mean, that's the implication. Right? You got to live your life knowing that she can just at any moment give you up. Like,
right.
Yeah.
So either get most likely murdered.
Yeah. Who's a big mouth in the comedy community? You bang the chick and that guy knows. Would you rather that or never have your dreams come true?
Well, I feel like if I get murdered, I probably won't have my dreams come true.
You fucking beat me at this game. You beat me at this game.
The choices are murdered and have your dreams not come true, or not get murdered and have your dreams not come true.
You fucking beat me at this
Sorry,
game.
yeah.
Checkmate. Yeah. It wasn't a good example. I came off the fly. I was going to say I'm giving up comedy.
Yeah.
I'm giving up comedy. I'm not fucking Putin's mistress.
No, that would be bad. If
It
you
would be-
you have a real problem if you can't say no.
Yes.
To Putin's mistress.
Like, wait.
That's a good story for sex addiction.
Yeah. You don't go into the bathroom and go, you're just going to jerk off and go home. That John
Pulp
Travolta
Fiction,
moment. Yeah.
Just jerk off and go home.
Jerk off and go home. No,
Did he say he's going to jerk off there?
he didn't, but
Is he going to jerk off at Uma Thurman's house and then leave?
yeah, that's funny because he actually said you're going to jerk off and go home. You're like, are you going to jerk
You're
off
just
right
gonna
now?
go into her bathroom and jack off.
Yeah.
I
Did any
guess so.
nerds who watched that movie, like, did that, were we supposed to be under the impression that he jerked off there?
Well, I think the idea is that
He did come out and not do anything, so maybe he did pull his fucking chicken.
I think so because he's like, you're going to jerk off, you go home, and then it cuts to him leaving the bathroom later, going, "All right, I'm going."
I never even thought of that.
I guess he jacked off there
He might have jacked off.
in her bathroom.
And then she's laying there unconscious. You think part of him was going like,
I should have
Yeah.
just fucked her.
no, he's thinking while she's laying there like, this is the way Marcellus Wallace will never find out.
What if he jerked off, didn't like fuck her, but then Marcellus found the semen in the bathroom? He still got in trouble, you know?
And that would, yeah.
Like he jerked off, but they're still fucked him
seeing
up.
and he's going, what's this doing here? Yeah, I mean, it would be bad. You couldn't really put it in the movie, especially nowadays, but if he's a gangster and he's a bad guy,
Yeah,
like John, you would think maybe he would get a couple, like she's passed out and he, you know.
Yeah. Well, there's a
takes
lot of
couple
things.
strokes.
Oh,
I don't
sorry.
even
shit.
know if you can make that joke anymore.
There's a lot of things in the movie that you could never do, like have the director call Samuel L. Jackson the N-word 48 times. It's one of those things that it's one of those things that might be hard to get off the ground going.
I want to see the fucking televised version. There's a dead glorious African American in my garage.
Imagine picture that. He's like, look, so there's going to be a scene where a guy calls you the N-word 82 times. I wrote it. I'm going to play it.
Yeah.
No one else can do this role but me.
How many times do I have to say there's a dead glorious African American in my garage?
It's insane. He calls him the N-word like 50. There are a lot of things where like they're like, oh, this doesn't hold up. And you're like, yeah, it's fine. That is like, wow, that was a different time.
And here's the funny thing with Django, it's like you need those words because it's in character.
Yeah.
But that one you don't.
No, you can't have plantation owners being like that African American
over there. Oh, that my black friend over here.
It was funny in what's it called? The fucking prequel to The Sopranos. What was it called? The
one that was on Netflix. What was it called? It was called Tony Soprano's son's not that good at it.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was called.
One. Yeah, that one. Yeah, David Chase should have stopped while he was ahead.
Yeah, I think it was called Unnecessary.
Yeah.
I think it was called My Big Fat Greek Wedding 5.
I think it was called If Anything Doesn't Need an Origin Story, It's This. Why are you treating The Greatest Show Ever like a fucking comic book? But like an epic, like, ooh, the uncle of... It's like, what are you doing?
Well,
But in it, they're less racist than the people in. So it's basically saying in their older generation was less racist than them because they're just never say the N-word.
Right.
Ever, which is insane.
Yeah,
like they're literally not once say the N-word.
Right. It's funny. It's like it used to be better. And then it got worse.
Apparently.
Depends on,
I mean, they don't say the N-word in Sopranos either, but they have 40 different.
They say it.
Do they? I feel like they have 40 different Italian words for black.
Now. Yeah, they do. They got the Italians are, when it comes to racism, they're very creative and funny.
It is, but it also kind of makes fun of them because they're just calling them different food in the kitchen. They're like, he looks like a fucking eggplant. It's like kind of just making fun of Italians. Yeah, like they can't think beyond the kitchen.
Is. Yes, it is. Yeah, you can't think like a tomato.
He looks like a tomato.
He looks like fusilini pasta. He looks like Parmigiana.
I also don't really get eggplant. Isn't that a purple eggplant?
It's like very dark.
I mean, I get that.
Yeah. It's very dark.
But it's not close enough.
No.
You know what I mean?
It has some humor to it when you think about like it's funny.
They have so many words for black people in Sopranos.
Another one is Mondays. That's a creative one.
Mullion.
Yeah.
Well, that's eggplant.
Mullion is eggplant.
Right.
30-somethings.
Yeah.
They got names, but it's across the board. They got names for Chinese. They got.
It's pretty fun.
The Italians come up. They take your worst quality and then they make it. Like if you grew up in an Italian neighborhood, they would call it something with the lisp. They would call you. They would call you Order. Your name would be Order. Yeah, they call you Cicero. Here comes Cicero.
Cicero.
Yeah, here comes Cicero. Make you struggle with fifth row. They call.
Are they the most racist Italians? You think?
Well, I would give rednecks. I would give Europeans number one.
Right.
They always talk about us. It's like you don't see anyone at basketball games. Like you go to European basketball games, you'll see a section of guys just
Hail Hitler,
and then they go, it's just the far right party. You're right. What? They have seats in Parliament.
But who's the most racist ethnic group?
Ethnic group. That's a good question.
They all seem kind of racist. Like Jews seem really racist. Italians seem really racist. Irish
Jews
people
are not. Israelis. Maybe.
Israelis are
There's a difference between American Jews and Israelis.
But there's different. Jews can be a little racist. The religion, the Chassids can be racist.
Oh, they don't. Yeah, but they're.
But you don't. They just
dismissive.
mind their own.
Yeah, I don't even call them race. I don't even think they look at you as like
a human being.
Yeah, it's like
I wouldn't call it racist. They just don't even acknowledge.
It's like you're a couch, and they got to get around.
They don't even see you as human enough to be inferior.
Yeah. They just it's like a couch or a piece of furniture or like something in the way.
Yeah, Chassids are a bad look for Jews.
Everyone's got that. Everyone's got some extreme things. I would maybe say Italians. I would say maybe Italians. There
are definitely the most movies where Italians are being racist.
Yes. Yeah. They definitely milk that stereotype.
Right. Yeah. But you look at The Departed, they're all pretty
that's the Boston.
Yeah. That's pretty racist.
Yeah, so after the Italian, the tough, like the white tough Italian movies, then it became that ushered in the Irish Boston guys.
Irish race, that's the second most racist.
Yeah, those guys. We're like, now we're going to do these Carhartt guys, these guys.
Right.
And those guys do exist.
Yeah.
They do. I saw them It's weird. Like they're not really here. They're not really in any. It's a very specific thing, and they're tough, dude.
Yeah.
I did I did in Boston. I did a recovery benefit, like a big one, in like Quincy or Southie or one of those fucking fucking Ben Affleck, Matt Damon
Mystic
parts.
River,
and it was like everyone in there was Goodwill Hunting. It was crazy, and they kept the lights on. They didn't want anyone picking anyone's pocket.
Oh, that's crazy.
They were all there like recovering heroin addicts. They were all these fucking sunken Boston faces. There's hard people. They go through that cold winter. and
they're very hard.
doing math, and they're fucking.
Chain
Pushing
smoking,
down.
tough,
They have to push down so many molestations from the church.
It didn't happen. It didn't
I still
fucking
gotta
happen.
call him father because it's my culture. It's my fucking culture. Fuck. Fucking guy fucking cornholed me when I was 7.
Meanwhile, the original Irish have completely gotten rid of the church in Ireland. They're still holding on in Boston.
Yeah, in Boston, they said still fucking,
It's the Pope. What
it's
can you
the
do?
fucking Pope, dude.
They should have kept their mouth shut.
Yeah, he's not that bad of a fucking guy. He bought us our fucking intramural basketball uniforms.
So what if he fucked a couple kids?
In between ramming my asshole in from 4 to 12. Now every time I hear tires screech, I get nervous because that's how he would pull up to my house.
You know what really got ruined after the pedophilia is the exorcism business.
What do you mean?
Well, like they used to do
exorcise
exorcisms,
them?
but now you can't if you call up and like help my kids possess, they can't be like, all right, time me up into bed. I'll got to be alone with him for 4 hours. It's over. It's done. That's the whole business.
This is a dark joke, but that was a really good time for pedophiles.
Yeah.
When they were going like, oh, I have a thing. I'm possessed by a demon.
Get out of the room. Close the door. Lock it. If you hear screaming, don't come in.
Yeah.
I'll be there for 12 hours.
And then the pedophile's laying down when they're doing the exorcism, and he's just going like this. He's like looking at his other pedophile buddy like,
it was a good time.
No, he's just going like, yeah, this will work.
Yeah, she's possessed. I'll need
Let's just
about
pretend
12
like
hours.
this works. I don't like kids anymore. Oh, it worked. I'm cured. Thanks. Now, where do the kids hang out? I want to go test myself.
They were. That's the thing. Like the priests, they fuck the kids, but they also have to get the demon out of the kid.
Right.
They're doing both.
Right. So
Sometimes you have to fuck the demon out of the kid. You have to fuck the kid to get the demon out.
Yeah.
You kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah. It's sort of like it's very borderline personality.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
create the problem and then solve the problem for the person.
Exactly.
Yeah. They got away with it. They've gotten away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Any other organization, like if all the head corporate people at McDonald's were fucking kids, McDonald's might not be around, but
they take a hit. Yeah, you wouldn't be like, "Hey, man, why you were at the West 4th McDonald's? Why are you now at the 14th Street?"
They were
McDonald's?
fucking kids on the McDonald's playground. They probably would have just sent them.
There's a little heat on the West 4th. The West 4th franchise got a little heat on it. They just the local manager told me just move up to 14th until things cool down a little bit.
They weathered it. That's a pretty big storm to weather, and they did it.
They did it.
It's pretty impressive.
It is. It's kind
How
of
many groups can survive worldwide pedophilia charges?
I mean, dude, it'll be looked back upon as like maybe the biggest PR achievement of all time.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I mean, Sackler family was done after like one like protest, but this fucking, it's pretty impressive.
You think part of it is the number is so big? Like I was reading this article in the investigative journalists in France from like the 1970s to like now, they estimated the number was like 300,000.
Kids were molested. Jesus.
You think it's one of those things that like when someone says Stalin killed,
you're like,
it gets
it's too much. Yeah.
It's too much for your mind. Like sometimes hearing he killed 3 people's because you can personalize it.
I guess the point is if you're going to fuck kids, just go hard.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to do it.
If they would have fucked one kid, they would have been done.
Do it beyond what humans can
like
grasp.
Stalin killed like 20 million.
Yeah.
It's so big, you're like, okay.
You're like, was
it's so big that life suddenly doesn't matter as you think about it. You're like, oh, well, if that's possible, then life's cheap. So I guess good.
Yeah, it's like trying to understand the universe. You're like, I can't. My brain doesn't even go there. So did he even do it? If it's that big,
it is so. Yeah, it is so big. I mean, but they also weathered a lot. They helped the Nazis. They've weathered a lot. They had a lot of practice weathering storms. Over the years.
There was a lot of Americans that helped the Nazis too.
Yeah. A lot of people helped.
Fucking Henry Ford wrote a Mein Kampf. I didn't even know that until
pamphlet
a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
he wrote like a whole Mein Kampf. He had Henry Ford.
I know.
has a Mein Kampf. I think it's called the International Jew.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. International Jew. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what was that term they used that only at Jewry?
Jewry.
International Jewry.
I like how they made it an adjective. Yeah.
Well, racist also, it was always a problem. It's always the Jewish problem, which is a really funny way to like be like a group and just that group being a problem.
Yeah, it's just that group.
When are we going to deal with the Jewish problem? And they're like, what is the problem? It's that they're Jewish.
It's sort of like when the number is so big,
Yeah.
It's like you can focus in on a small group and see like some things that a few do.
Right.
But like the whole world's filled with atrocities and people just can't grasp that. They're
hard,
going like,
yeah.
let's just fucking go. It's like a husband who is an alcoholic who had a bad day at work. And his wife's just there standing in front of him.
Yeah.
Like he really wants to hit his boss and everybody at work, but he's like, my wife's right here, so I'm just gonna take out it on my wife. The Jews are the housewife of an alcoholic.
That's a good example. That's a good example for Jews. We are the housewife of.
You're just there, and they're like, there's a few. I can get my mind around this small group. Let me just fucking.
It's weird. Well, we're a small group. We're so small.
The
we're
problem
like
is
transgender people. We're so small, but the front of conversations.
Well, it's because of the overrepresentation in high level stuff due to achievement.
Yeah, it's not.
That's
good.
what it is.
Not good.
So what you got to tell your people is, guys, dumb it down a little bit. Dumb it down.
It is scary, just like, and I guess this is where the anti-Semitism. Just when you think about how we are the topic of conversation, and we are such like below 1% of the world, that's scary. That we're just we shouldn't be talked about at all. Like we should be talked about the way they talk about like fucking like I don't know Yugoslavians or something. It's like such a small group.
It should be talked about differently because it should be talked about like, okay, what do they do? What are they doing that makes them succeed so much?
Yeah,
and then you go,
well, they never.
Yeah, they never go that way.
Well, you know what we do?
They never go like, wait, can we do some of those things?
People do this. You know when like someone gets big and you're like, his father was in this and that.
Yeah.
It's like that. Everyone's just like, it was nepotism. They're all rigged.
They all take care of each other. Until you hang out with Jewish women at a mahjong table and you're like, they don't like each other.
Well, I was always thinking a good show would be a reality TV show where anti-Semites follow me on the road and they lose their anti-Semitism by seeing how much I'm struggling. They're like, oh man, I thought Jews really had a rig, but then I saw Raanan perform for 12 people in a papered room in Austin. Like maybe they don't control everything.
That reminds me of one of my favorite jokes that I've ever said that is so inside and only works for people who know who Louis Katz is.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't even at a roast. I just said, Louis, your career is proof that the Jews don't run Hollywood. I flubbed the line.
No, it's true though.
So I was like, yeah, if the Jews run. Louis Katz's career is proof, so we can clip it. Louis Katz's career is proof that the Jews don't run Hollywood.
And if they do,
not that much.
Or they're fucking us over. They're not letting it, or we're that bad.
Yeah.
we're that bad at comedy. The Jews are like, no, we can't. If we help them, it'll be too obvious. Yeah. If we help Louis Katz and Raanan, people will be like, well, if they're doing well, then clearly it's rigged, you know?
Here's another funny one, too, that I always think breaks the illusion of fear is nobody ever talks about the overrepresentation of Jews in hospitals and doctors.
Oh,
nobody
right.
seems to care about that.
We don't want to fuck with that.
Yeah. How come nobody's going like, what the fuck?
Because they want those Jewish doctors.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck, dude? What are they doing?
Yeah.
What kind of secret thing are they doing that there's so many people who are curing me?
Right. Well, yeah.
It always goes to like the financial or political.
Well, the Hollywood thing was because Jews weren't allowed to work in film in New York, so they moved to Hollywood and built their own thing. So it's like...
Here, look, I grew up in Brooklyn, right? So most of my girlfriends were Jewish. I grew up in Park Slope, which was like one of the most diverse neighborhoods. I got a half a Jew sitting there.
Yeah.
You know? There's just Jews everywhere. And what I can contribute to the conversation is they're just people.
Yeah. Of course.
Some people need to hear. No, some people need to hear that.
Well, I did think.
Some people go, wait, what?
I did.
Yeah, no, like you don't really notice. The only time you notice is around Christmas. And here's the deal: the only good point people have about Jews is Christmas is a better holiday
But Hanukkah?
Objectively, because
Yeah,
every Jewish friend I have, you just can feel the envy, and a Christmas tree eventually goes up, and it's a seasonal tree.
Well,
it becomes a winter tree.
Hanukkah is a bit of a scam because it's like 8 days of gifts.
Yeah.
But they do that. See, this is where Jews kind of fulfill the stereotype.
Yeah.
They're like, on the first couple of days, it's shitty, but then they're like, wait till the next couple of
Yeah.
days, and then it never gets good. So it's kind of like a scam that way.
Yeah.
You know? They're like, oh, yeah, you got socks today, but we got 4 more days left.
Here's how they also didn't fulfill the stereotypes, because they ended up celebrating both, and I always thought that's not fair. You can't have both.
Yeah.
Because then their family would just give in. Like a lot of my Jewish friends would be like, and they'd get Christmas gifts and fucking Hanukkah gifts. And I'd be like, that's like double. That's like 8 plus. That's like, I'm not a mathematician.
Right.
But that's like 9 times the gifts. So I'd get like 1 Legos and be like, Hanukkah's still going. And also my parents gave me a Christmas
Well,
present.
I don't support that behavior at all. And I didn't do that as a kid. We didn't have.
You stuck to Hanukkah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I was a little more religious than I was like conservative, somewhere in between Orthodox and the Reform Jews.
So you're one of those, like, you don't tell your parents what to watch you.
What do you mean?
You tell your parents to watch your set?
Oh yeah. I mean, they're not that religious.
Are you allowed to touch microphones on Sunday? Because this is why we put it in the thing for him. He told us that before. He's like, I can't handle electronics on a certain day.
A notch below that. Well, we lived in Louisville. We didn't use money on Saturday, so I never went to the Kentucky Derby. That's a thing.
Oh, so you didn't? So you did not use electricity?
We used electricity, but we didn't use money.
Yeah. Oh, so you're one of those Amish Jews.
Well, we actually had it in a way. So we're conservative. It's like in between. Like Reformed is like the nothing, lesbian rabbi.
I grew up around mostly Reformed.
Yeah. They're the ones who are fucking putting Christmas. They're like, we're not Jews anyway.
Yeah.
They put Christmas in there. And then there's Orthodox, which is the guys running around, not looking at you, sweaty on the street.
Yeah.
And we're in the middle. So like the guys who look like they have somewhere to be, possibly a Jewish conspiracy.
Yeah. No, I know
it doesn't help us that Chassids are always running like they're late to a meeting. But we were in the middle, so So like we kept kosher in the house, and then we didn't eat. We only ate dairy outside the house at a restaurant. We didn't eat meat, which is actually kind of harder than more like religious Jews in New York wouldn't eat. They'd only eat at a kosher restaurant.
Yeah.
But there were no kosher restaurants in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah.
So I actually never ate meat at a restaurant ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Still to this day?
Oh no, I don't. I'm not an idiot. I don't believe it anymore.
Here's my question. Like Catholics. So Catholics, like, masturbating is a sin.
Yeah, sure.
So when they do it, they like proverbially have to like fucking whip themselves, but it makes it really good.
Yeah, that's
like
kind
the
of
Catholic girls I hooked up with. Like, I'm Greek Orthodox, so we don't have any of that shit. So our priest can marry, you can come, all that stuff. So all the Catholic girls I hooked up with, my wife doesn't watch this anymore, thank God. But it was fucking great.
Yeah,
I always tell people, like, the repression of religion is almost worth how hot it makes.
Yeah,
the
that's
sex.
true. Religion is kind of like edging.
Yeah, it's like edging. Yeah,
Religion is like the ultimate edging.
it's
yeah.
fucking edgy. So all the Irish girls, I just had this thing for Irish girls because they were just fucking Catholic and they were repressed and it was just hot. My question for the conservative Jews is:
Jewish girls are all whores.
No.
I'm joking.
I'm going even further. Not further, but in a different direction. Was using electricity erotic because you couldn't? So when you hit the light switch, you're like, oh yeah, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I'm doing something fucking naughty.
Yeah, well, that like using a vibrator on a girl
Oh,
on Saturday.
And you're like,
That
the
was the
devil's got
hottest.
you. Oh!
Not on Saturday.
So
That
you
was it, yeah.
You're holding it with it on. You're holding it with it on at 11:59 on Saturday. As soon as it hits 12, it's like it's okay now. It's okay now.
that would be that's what made it hot. Yeah. No, I didn't eat unkosher meat till college. And this is true. I was in college. I had a chicken in the cafeteria, like unkosher chicken.
Yeah.
And I woke up the next day with a cold sore.
Yeah.
And then I like ate it again and woke up with another cold sore and then did another day. And then
Why?
finally, I don't know. I think it was like guilt.
Guys, freeze pipes are amazing. This is for your weed smokers. Okay, I guess you could put tobacco in there too. I mean, why not? But the worst part of weed when you smoke weed is the coughing, the harsh pulls, tokes, whatever you want to call them. Hit, whatever you want to call it, on your bong, on your pipe. You get rid of that. Freeze Pipe has created their pipes to get rid of that, to make the smoking experience smooth and with painless. That's what you like. So Doesn't have to hurt when you smoke weed. You don't got to cough, dude. Upgrade to a freeze pipe today. Experience icy smooth clouds without the throat burn, chest pain, coughing attacks. Freeze pipes make a unique line of freezable pipes, bubblers, bongs, and more. That cool smoke by over 300 degrees. All you got to do, and I've done it, they sent them to me, you take this freezable glycerin chamber that comes on every piece. You pop one of those in the chamber, pop one of these chambers in the freezer for 1 hour. And as the smoke passes through, it's instantly chilled for a relaxing experience. No afterburn, no coughing. That's it. Put it in the freezer for 1 hour, then put it in. You're good. And the pipes are beautiful. Glass. They're gorgeous. Like I said, you can put them in your living room and display them as tchotchkes. Visit thefreezepipe.com. Use the code Yannis right now for 10% off your entire order. That's thefreezepipe.com. Code Yannis for 10% off. Order today and get free shipping and say goodbye to harsh smoke forever. The Jewish culture is a lot of guilt in there.
Yeah. It's a lot of
The
guilt.
mothers really, that's where it starts with the mothers.
Yeah.
And the mothers, it's very similar in Greek culture. The mother really controls your life through guilt, and it's great.
Yeah.
It's,
I hate
it's
it.
sociopathic.
I feel like it is, and I feel like it's made to be so folksy in culture, like the overbearing mother. It's like but in reality, I'm like, no, I still feel like a child now.
Yeah.
At 40, this is not funny.
Yeah.
This is like upsetting.
Yeah.
Like she still tells me what to do.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel like I'm not ever an adult.
Yeah.
And then so it's not fun.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that. Strong matriarchal, the mother is always like in the Jewish families, like, dude, we've talked about this on the podcast before, but like, my parents were lawyers and they, had a lot of Jewish friends, and like my mother's best friend from law school was Jewish, and her husband was like one of the biggest defense attorneys in the city at the time. And the way she would talk to him, dude, it was at parties. And this guy's like hanging out with drug dealers and getting like, and then he's tough as nails in his profession. And then watching his wife just put that down, Stanley. You eating too much shrimp. And he just kind of, okay, can we put the fucking air conditioner on here? This is not, it's just a little buzz. We're dying over here, dude. Nobody cares. It's a podcast.
Yeah, you guys
We're not even in 4. Are we going to be in 4K at least this week?
No.
Oh, we didn't make the switch.
No, not yet, but
Yeah.
But I don't think it can't show up on 4K.
you guys really want to be seen in 4K?
Yeah, I don't know. Not sweating like this.
My mom once, I talked about this in therapy. It's just like an example of how like nothing I can do is ever right. One Passover, I was like, I guess drinking a lot, wine, and she just kept on commenting like, you're drinking way too much wine, way too much. You should really slow down on the wine. And the next year, I happened to quit drinking, and so I was in Passover, and I swear to God, she was like, you really need to slow down on the grape juice. You're drinking way too much grape juice. There's a lot of sugar in it. I'm like, I can't win.
You're like, oh, this wasn't about the wine.
This is just, no matter what you do,
This is
they
about
will find a fault.
you asserting dominance over your child.
Yeah, no, it's awful. And then she's like, I'm a Jewish mother. I'm just overbearing. I'm like, no, it's fucking psychotic. It's psychotic.
Yeah. Well, to play devil's advocate, how much fucking grape juice were you downing?
That's probably a lot. And there's a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
Well, that's what makes it even worse is that she's kind of right.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. My therapist has brought this up. Even if she's right,
Yeah.
she's wrong in the sense that she's thinking she can tell me how to live my life.
Right.
That's what took me a long time to realize. Yeah, there's a lot of sugar in grape juice.
Right.
But I'm an adult.
Right.
And I should be able to fucking pound.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's my business.
It's
what
my
I do.
business, yeah.
You no longer, I'm not in your house and you can't tell me what to do with the fucking grape juice.
My therapist is very anti.
Be happy it's not fucking oxys. I'm a comedian.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the way Mitch Hedberg died? It could go that way. Let me have a fucking grape juice.
My therapist is very anti parents. So he's always like, when I tell him stuff, he's like, yeah, next time she says that, just tell her to shut the fuck up or, mind
Sounds
your
like
own
we
goddamn.
may have had the same therapist.
Alan?
Yeah. Be tougher.
He's like,
Assert yourself.
Just slap her and then leave the room. What's the big deal? Take out a switchblade and say, if you tell me how to do my business again, I'll slit your fucking throat, you whore.
I think therapy's really needed more for the mom issues than the dad issues.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
Italian, Greek, Jewish, the mother's the patriarch.
mother.
But the mother's the head. But in Ireland, it's I think the opposite. In Irish,
It's
the
the
dad,
priest. It's the father.
the priest, and the father.
Yeah, you go and you go, which father? And then you go,
Which awful
the
father?
one at the one in the house of God. And they go, all right.
Which father? The
we're
one who
gonna be
hit
here
you?
for a couple of years.
Which
yeah.
father? The one who hit you or the one who fucked you?
Right.
The one who was never nice to you or the
Right.
one who was kind of kind but
Right.
only to fuck you?
Those are the two options. First, let's deal with the hits, and then we'll deal with the other father. My two fathers.
But the Irish, I think they have to deal with the father.
Yeah.
And then the mother's a little more quiet.
I think
You
so.
don't see the mother telling an Irish guy like,
You're right.
quiet, calm the fuck
Right.
down.
They're
Yeah.
like, fucking everything's fine. Jesus,
Yeah.
Jesus, Mary,
The
Joseph.
mother's just
yeah.
like like doing rosaries while her kid's getting beat. She's just fucking ignoring it.
It's all okay. Everything's okay. Push it down. Don't
Once we die, this will be
don't pay
over.
attention. Yeah, the Catholics, the Irish Catholics, like don't pay attention to the problem, and then
Yeah.
like the Jews and the Greeks or the Italians pay too much attention to the problem.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah.
We think about it too much.
Yeah.
I do think in the end of the day, it's probably healthier. I
think
think
about it.
Irish is the most fucked up,
Oh yeah.
right? Like, or the most impervious to like growth. Yeah, I'm speaking generalizations, but
Yeah.
like they deal with repression. And the thing about repression is that's gonna be harder than we like get it all out too much.
Yeah.
I feel like repression's harder.
I think you should get it out. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you should get it out. But I think they get it out another way by hitting their
Hitting their kids.
Yeah, so that's
Well,
therapeutic.
true. I guess that
In
is
a way, it's
therapeutic.
very. I mean, I don't. It could work better.
I
I
call
mean, it's
my
cheaper for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, therapy's expensive.
I guess therapy. A lot of things are. Oh shit.
How many times is my fucking phone gonna fall?
Like one thing I have anxiety. One thing I do to like, get it out is I'll have horrible panic attacks, and then I'm very calm.
The panic attacks, almost like the repression religion, sometimes are worth it for how calm you feel afterwards.
It is good. It is good.
After your body
It is
goes
nice.
fi-
It's so
realizes
nice.
everything's
It's kind of
fine.
heaven.
Yeah.
Because a panic attack is anxiety just slowly building
Yeah.
for like a
And then you
year.
just go,
Just like,
and then
you're like,
afterwards, you're just like,
"Ooh." Yeah, it is kind of amazing.
yeah, it's like getting a negative AIDS result.
Yeah,
you go
I mean,
in
I-
there all tense, and then
yeah.
you leave like. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee.
I mean, I've cut my arm the whole time, but no, I'm joking.
I was about to say, Jesus Christ, you're not cutting, are you?
No,
All right, because I can relate to the anxiety. I don't know if I can relate to the cutting.
no, I'm joking.
But the cutting, I don't. Is that?
I like how we suddenly got serious.
Yeah.
We've been riffing the whole time. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Well, I mean, that is a little bit of a curveball. You're like, yeah, I was having this panic attack, and then I held a knife to my arm. Anyway, fucking Jewish mothers, right? It's like, wait a second, back up. Are you okay?
I did go to the ER once for a panic attack. And it
Once?
was-
Fucking rookie.
I know. And it was actually twice.
Dude, that's
trying
my cheers.
It was actually twice. I was trying to look cool.
Fucking, there's been months I've gone twice.
It's tough though with ER because like you have to wait a while, and then you're just kind of thinking like, well, by the time I get seen, this panic attack will be fucking over.
Have you noticed that once you get in the hospital, it starts to go away?
Yeah, I know.
And
You're
then
like, all right, this is ridiculous.
And then you almost have to fake that it's still happening
Right.
in order to like be like,
Well,
yeah, I'm still having a panic attack.
What's
They
like-
look at your blood pressure and they're like, it's fine.
It's like you're calling your own bluff. You go to the ER, you're like, I'm dying, and then you go, because deep down you know it's a panic attack. So you go in there, and then you're like, all right, this is like you see one guy shot, and you're like, all right, maybe I shouldn't be here. But then you can't leave. That looks weird.
No, it's a serious thing. It's physical. What happens to you? I know all about the.
You get a lot of panic, huh? Yeah, me
Oh,
too.
dude, I've been dealing with it for years. I've been these past couple years. I've been like on such a journey to understand all that. The more I understand, the more I learn about it, the more they know so much more about it now.
Do
How
they?
the
Yeah.
brain works and the amygdala and the fight or flight response and your subconscious and it usually just goes back to when you were a kid, you didn't feel safe. Nobody contained your fear. There was nobody there while your brain was developing, and that's why I feel so out of your control because it's your subconscious. It's
Right.
Your brain is basically only evolved for the most part to be a survival apparatus.
Right.
So it's like your subconscious is getting triggers that you're not aware of that remind you of a time where you felt unsafe and nobody contained it.
Right,
People who have
right.
good parents will go, "What's wrong?"
Yeah,
and then explain
yeah,
it to you.
that's
And
so
then as your
true.
brain's developing, you go, "Oh, that's fine." But then when you get older and you realize you were neglected in those ways, that's not solved.
That's so true. I had really awful panic attacks when I was younger, and well, I didn't even know what they were, but my parents, like, no one ever. I didn't know they were panic attacks. So
Right.
that's what made it if I would have gotten help then,
Yeah.
but instead of getting help, I just thought I had this horrible condition I kept to myself.
Also, it's hard to get help when you're little because you don't know. You
I didn't know what it
comprehend
was.
And
Yeah.
also, you can't have a therapist tell you when you're young. This is the complicated part. Like, hey, your mother might be the problem. And then you're like, I got to live with this bitch for 25 more years.
That does better once you've left.
Exactly.
That's why.
That's why the defense mechanisms kick in. And you just go with those defense mechanisms. And some people's personalities become those defense mechanisms.
That's a good point, though. Like, therapy now is all like, we don't live with our parents, so we're allowed to like have the resentment or the war. But like, if you're a kid doing therapy, that must really fuck with you if the therapist is like, yeah, your mother's really fucking up your life.
Now go home and be with her forever.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Which would feel like, it's slow time moves when you're little.
Yeah,
Like, I got to live with this bitch till I'm 18.
Yeah, No, you got to wait till you leave the
And
house.
here's the thing.
You got to wait till you leave the house till you learn the truth.
Some people shouldn't have kids. Some people
Yeah,
just
yeah.
were not. Parenting, now that I'm a father, parenting is a job that you can do well or do bad.
Yes.
You can do it bad.
And it gives you, you have these moral consequences you didn't have when you didn't have kids. Like, if you don't have kids, you can just be an asshole and it's fine.
And
like,
it only affects.
yeah.
whatever.
But with the kid, that asshole is now like, that shit can ramp up to evil real quick.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's so many moral consequences that you don't have
Right.
before you have a kid. I mean, it is funny to think about, like, I feel like, we're probably similar age.
Sure.
But
Why not? Why not?
Our parents' generation, I feel like
That's one of the great parts about looking a lot younger than I am. Sure. Sounds about right. What are you, 30-something? Sounds good.
no, I'm old.
What
I'm
are you?
40.
That's old.
How old are you? Are you?
I'm 40.
I just turned 40.
I'm older than 40.
All right, well, you look
When
great.
did you start comedy?
15, 16 years
Just turn
ago.
this into fucking morning radio right there. Yeah.
When'd you know you were funny?
That's about right. So
16
40
years, 17
because
years.
you're really funny. And you,
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah,
You too.
You're
You're
really
amazing.
funny, and you got that like fucking smart. Like, oh, not only is this funny and is a funny vehicle because you're comedically built, so it comes out funny. But the jokes are also like, oh, that's a good joke. Ah, that's a good joke. Ah, this is like,
Oh, thanks, man.
good stuff.
Well, I
So,
love your stuff.
yeah.
I'm always excited. I
Thank
feel like
you.
you
Okay.
make a lot.
we got to blow each other a little
But
bit.
it is interesting. Like, both of us, I feel like, are fairly confident on stage, or like at least fairly energetic, which is interesting because we have panic.
Yeah.
So it's like, it is.
You ever have one on stage yet?
Yeah. I had.
Like, yeah, all the time.
No, I got.
You ever
all,
get carted out on a stretcher at one?
Did you?
Oh yeah, I got you beat, dog.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh yeah.
What happened?
Yeah, fucking Providence, Rhode Island.
What happened?
At the Comedy Connection.
You like?
I went up and I was like, I'm gonna faint. I'm going down. This is it. And then it just didn't go away. And
but
know,
you didn't faint.
I didn't faint, but I got carried out of the comedy club in a stretcher.
Like, you called the ambulance afterwards?
They were like, should we call the ambulance? Are you diabetic? I'm like, I don't know. At this point,
Oh,
I
you
wasn't
said it
in
on
therapy.
stage.
Yeah, I was on stage. I got up there. I was up there for 10 seconds, and I went, I'm just feeling a little lightheaded. Does anyone have a chicken finger? And I just took a chicken finger, and I was like, maybe I need some water. And then I was like, I'm going to bring the host
Oh,
back
you didn't
up.
know it was a panic attack. Oh my
I
God.
knew, but when
Yeah,
you're in
yeah,
that part of your brain,
course,
you're
of course.
just go, and I wasn't in therapy at this point, so I had no tools. So I was just like, and then you get carried out in the stretcher. And let me tell you something. New England is the worst place for that to happen to you.
Called.
To have it, because when they're checking you, they're all assholes. They're all massholes.
You get called queer.
Yeah,
quite a
they're
bit.
just like, they check your heart rate, they check your blood temperature, and they know nothing's wrong with you. And so the whole ambulance ride was them just fucking with me.
Look at this fucking queer
Yeah.
over here.
They were going,
With some
so,
pussy panic attack.
was this your first night doing comedy? Was the fucking crowd rough, kid?
People don't get that. The panic attacks don't start in the beginning of comedy. They
Right.
start later, I think.
do.
Like, I feel like, for me, that's crazy, by the way. So how much time did you do on stage?
15 seconds. They canceled the whole weekend.
Oh my God.
Looking back, it was like my dad was dying of cancer.
Oh yeah.
The list goes. My dad, my mother was Alzheimer's. We just put her in a fucking home. That was a whole thing. She's a borderline personality disorder.
Oh my God.
So that was a whole fucking thing. What else had just happened? Angelo just died. Dave just got murdered. Another friend I can't say on the podcast. I mean, it was just a time where like, and you're just dealing with it.
Yeah, but
like, and then
not-
you're
yeah.
continuing to live, and then your body just goes, "Hey, dude, you can't. We're not going to let you pretend things are okay right now. And you're going, I got to make other people happy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're broken.
And in hindsight, you're like, oh, of course that's what's
Of
going to happen.
course, that's what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really. I mean, that's awful. I think I started getting anxiety around the time my dad. He's still alive, but he had cancer when I was younger, or he still does. And I got a lot of. I think it was around that time. But that's crazy. That you really do. Very few people tend to. Beat
Joe
me on
List. When me and Joe List, Joe's List, I'm like, your anxiety is fucking intramurals compared to mine.
I mean, that's just
Mine's-
to say that sentence is crazy.
Yeah, because Joe has a lot, but I mean, mine has been crazy. And I got shot. I have PTSD.
Oh.
And now I know that my mother lived under occupied Nazi Germany. Something bad happened to her. My therapist.
Oh shit.
My mother was born on the island of Crete, and that was like a major occupation for the Nazis. So she was a little girl, and then my father was.
So that
my
generational
father actually
trauma.
had PTSD. Like he spent time in a hospital.
God.
He was a combat veteran, and so that shit just gets passed down. They know that now too.
Yeah.
They know that now about intergenerational
Generational
trauma. It's
trauma.
totally
Oh,
true.
my
They
God.
do studies on it. It's fucking biological. It's chemical. It just gets in you.
And also, being raised by people with PTSD is like
That's how it
nurture.
gets
Yeah.
down.
Right.
It's just
Oh,
the mirror
right.
neuron. So there's
Right.
this thing called mirror neurons that they know about now, this is one of the most mind blowing things to me. It's one of those instinctual animal things that your caregiver, when before you're conscious, you're a helpless kid.
Yeah.
So there's some instinct that humans have, the human animal, where your neurons just match up unconsciously
Right.
with the neurons of
Oh, wow.
they just match up. Your
Oh, wow.
brain is actually making the connections that they're seeing. It's it's not mystical, it's fucking instinct.
But it's like you're connected on some like.
It's like you're
Mental
looking,
level?
you're forming, so your brain's just going, this is my caregiver, and it's just making the same connections. You're just becoming like your parents.
Feels like
Because
such aliens.
Yeah,
like,
they're like, this is how you do something, and then your brain just goes, this is all I know. My caregiver told me, and then your brain,
Jesus.
and it's not even conscious, it's not said. It's just they're called mirror neurons, where the neurons actually mirror the neurons in your
wow.
caregiver.
So it is. So it is like. It's not just how you're raised. It's like through the wow.
Yeah. So when people say genetic, it's like that too, but that is just as powerful as genes. It's just the mirror neurons when you're little. The first 5 years are the most. They know this now. The first 5 years are the most important, and then there's pre-verbal trauma. A lot of people don't even know because it was before you could talk, but you just didn't feel safe, so your body just was in a panic, like your mom left you in a crib or whatever.
Oh my God! When I think of my mom's.
And then
anxiety?
the brain fully develops till 25.
Yeah, when I think of my mom's anxiety and thinking I was fucking mirroring that fucking crazy person,
You were. You were. There's no way you weren't.
I was just mirroring
you're just going,
complete
you were
stress at all
downloading it. Yeah,
times.
this is how I should view the world.
Just never, unable to ever be calm.
It's fucked. Because we're like versions of our parents. It's like, we take their shit. We get their good shit, their bad shit. We just get their shit.
How old is your kid now?
My kid is 1, and my other kid is going to be 4.
Do you see any anxiety in your kid that, like the 4-year-old, that you can like relate to?
This has just been the best. Like, I've really like dialed in on like, I have a trauma therapist now who like specializes in EMDR and stuff.
Oh, great! That's
So
what
I'm, like, been in
my
it.
girlfriend's therapist specializes in that.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, EMDR.
It's
yeah.
fucking incredible.
No, it's rare. She's
It's
done it to me.
crazy.
It's very helpful.
It's
yeah.
crazy, dude. So, I've been just all in this, and so I've just been bringing that to my kids, not in an overbearing way, just in awareness.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm constantly just like, paying attention to them and asking them how they feel. And when I see she gets a tantrum or whatever, I'm just patient with it.
Yeah.
I explain things to her. I just let her know. I told this to Jesse, and I think it's like it's not being a parent, a good parent. I don't think is rocket science. I think the most important thing is you give the kid the message through your joy and happiness that you wanted them here,
Right.
and that they're more important than you, and you care about them, and so you giving them that safety to know, like, you're not a burden to me, even when you're throwing a panic attack or whatever. I can handle this. I asked for you to be here. I'm going to put the time in for that, and you're important to me. And that's all you got to do for a kid. And their nervous system is just, I can see it, how happy my kids are, because their nervous system is just a lot calmer than mine probably was, dealing with 2 parents who couldn't cope.
Right.
My parents were like they were both immigrants, right? making it in America alone. So that's enough stress.
Yeah.
And then they're carrying all that trauma from war. And then they're like, there's a crying baby in the other room. So they were like managing that inside and then being like, fucking shut up, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So-
and then you feel like a burden or something. Or you feel like your emotions are fucking things up.
Yeah. And here's another thing that they know too, is that so when your parent like is neglectful or abusive, that you don't have the capacity as a kid to go, my mother is abusive or neglectful or messed up or whatever it is. You go, there's something wrong with me.
Yeah, you go, I'm an
You
asshole.
go, because that's the affection you're trying to get. So if the message is you're not getting it, even if you don't understand it, like you couldn't articulate it because you're not old enough, you feel it, and so you just internalize it. And you go, there's something wrong with me. There's got to be something wrong. And so the people who don't have
still do
confidence or
that.
hate themselves, their parents fucking did that to them.
I still do that. And I feel the
It's
need.
good for comedy.
Yeah, it's good. But I feel the need to like, I don't have boundaries. I feel the need to always please people. And I feel like when I have my own needs, it feels selfish.
Yeah.
You know, which I think is something my mom may have.
But
Like,
I bet your girlfriend appreciates that 100%. When you're eating that pussy, and you go, you're guilty. You're like, you did too much for me. I would, if I was her as a therapist, and she knew all that mind shit, I'd be like, I'm gonna fucking milk this. He's a people pleaser. Guess what? Pussy needs a little lapping.
no one eats out better than a fat guy who comes early.
With mommy issues, who wants to
mommy
please?
issues, yeah.
Who wants to please? A recreation and with an
That's
edible.
true.
Nobody eats pussy better than a self-hating, edible, low self-esteem, neglected kid.
Yeah, it's true.
I think that's who you want to get, ladies.
That's I was
You
raised
can't beat
right.
that.
I was raised right in that way.
You were raised right for eating pussy.
I was raised right for eating pussy.
You got
hilarious.
a great podcast with the great Joe Les. Joe Les, one of my favorite people. One of those guys.
He had a panic attack on Conan.
Yeah, he did. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
he
and you
did.
can't really notice it.
No.
That's the thing. I had panic attacks on stage, but I've never brought it up. So I guess I went through it.
Yeah.
For me, like panic attacks on stage are like, you know, when you're really high, if you ever high on weed and you're freaking out, but outside it just looks totally normal.
Yes, yeah,
That's what
yeah.
weed does.
Yeah.
Weed, like other drugs, you think you're normal, but you're like, ugh. But weed, like all those guys on the street like this, they think they're just like, but like, they think they're just like high.
Yeah.
But weed makes you think you're losing your mind in your head.
Yeah.
But on the outside, you're like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
That's how it was with me. I'd have these horrible panic attacks on stage, and no one could notice, which actually made it kind of sadder. Like I'd
Probably
be,
just sweated a little bit.
well, I always do that.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, they could tell anyway. Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely couldn't be noticed. And it would be awful. I wouldn't have fun. It'd be awful. And afterwards, I come off stage, I'd be like, man, that was awful. And they're like, no, it's fine.
Yeah.
And that made it sadder. It's like, God,
Yeah.
I'm so alone. No one even notices my despair.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it makes you more compassionate, I think, having anxiety, because then it makes you realize, like, you look at other people sometimes and are like, even though they seem normal right now, they might be having a nightmare going on in their head. So it makes you at least more aware that people are having nightmares in their head that aren't being reflected. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, or expressed.
And just to piggyback off that, I think it makes you more empathetic. It's an indication that you're more empathetic to begin with.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I think you're having the panic attacks because you're someone who's sensitive and feels. And
Right.
So I think that's par for the course at
Right.
the beginning of the panic attacks because you're just feeling a lot of shit.
Yeah, and it's so
Psychopaths just have no panic
they don't have
attacks.
it. Yeah,
Dude.
that's the thing about Sopranos. I don't know if he'd be having panic attacks.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's probably more of a sociopath.
but yeah.
They have feelings. It's a complicated way, whatever. They'll probably change it in 5 years.
yeah.
But it's an interesting thing to think, like, are we really free or are psychopaths the freest ones?
I don't think any of us are free.
Psychopaths are pretty free.
No, but
They
like,
don't feel anything.
But they don't have the freedom to feel. Like that's like a
That's
like a
pretty
chain.
free. I mean, have you ever had feelings for a chick you broke up with and you're like, I wish I could be free of this? Psychopaths are going like,
Right.
they go, woe is you, buddy.
Right. It does. I have thought, like, you posted the Iceman the other day.
Yeah,
And I love the
Kavinsky,
Iceman.
yeah.
I got obsessed with him.
Yeah.
And I used to do Adderall, and I ended
Yeah.
up writing like a.
By the way, he's not talking about Gervin. You're not talking about the guy
Gervin?
who finger rolls. Yeah, there's another Iceman. If you're a basketball aficionado,
I'm
there's
not.
another Iceman.
I'm talking about the Hitman.
You're talking about the one who kills people. Yeah.
I mean, he has a lot of scores, but he. What was I gonna say? Oh, like it does make you think. Like, if anyone like like you can be really calm as a psychopath because like for us, if someone like is rude to us, we can't murder them, so we just bitch about it. We're just like, fucking guy cut me off. It's fucking bullshit. But for psychopaths, they can just be like, oh, it's fine. I'll just kill him later.
No,
I'll just go to his house and strangle him. It's okay.
They don't care if you like them. They don't care if
It's
you
like very
dislike
calm.
them. Yeah, they don't feel.
It's nice to kill people who upset you.
Yeah.
Because when you can't, you just complain.
Yeah.
All day long.
All day long.
And it's really annoying.
And you're like, I wish you just killed the guy.
Yeah. And meanwhile, other guys, psychopaths are like, no, everything's fine.
Yeah. Psychopath's fascinating. I had a while where
He's
I was
the best,
obsessed with the. Oh, he's great. Kuklinski.
I tried to write a book about him. I just got like obsessed with him. I read like all his stuff, and I don't know. I just
What was the source of the what was the inspiration for the obsession?
He's so poetic. He has such good lines. Like the way he talks.
I never picked up on that. When
Really?
he's like, I'm trying to remember. Like, so the rats were eating her face.
Well, maybe that. It's hard to make that line poetic.
Yeah. When you come to think about it, it's very Thoreau-esque.
No, he had like, he just had I don't know, he had a way of saying lines that were like very cinematic to me. And he was just an interesting guy. His life was interesting. But I do remember in the book or one of the documentaries, he talks about how he got a weapon. It's fucked up, but also very funny. He got a weapon like a crossbow, and he wanted to test it out.
Yes.
Before he did a hit.
He did that on the series.
So he just drove up to like a homeless guy and just shot it through his neck. And I'm like, oh, so him testing out what's killing someone. Like, for you think testing it out would be like,
it works. It works.
But you just did the deed.
Yeah. Like, oh, I guess I forgot about that part.
Yeah, it works.
Well, anyway, it works.
No, he lied about a lot of stuff, unfortunately.
I heard that. He lied, but that's what psychopaths do. They fucking lie and lie and lie.
Well, that was. Do you watch the Jinx, the Robert Durst?
I did. We did a whole episode. I'm obsessed with him.
Someone was talking. I'm almost done with the second season.
Did you watch the follow-up, the new one that came out?
I'm almost done with that, yeah.
So it's people don't know how great it is because they think it's not as good as the first one, but it's great for
It's actually
different
better.
reasons.
It's actually kind of crazy. It's like the first one was so phenomenal, and then you watch the second one, you're like, oh, this second one needed to happen.
Yeah.
Like it actually feels like it actually
agree.
But there was one part where they're like that hilarious lawyer who seems like a coach of a high school football team. The guy who's like the prosecution guy. He's like, we're gonna, But he talked about him being a pathological liar, and I'm like, well, is he a pathological liar? I think he's a murderer who then has to lie.
He's a liar. He's a consequence of his murder.
I think it's more the murdering. Yeah. It's just I think it's more that it's very hard to be an honest murderer.
Right. I killed somebody.
So I don't know if that's I feel like pathological lying is me just being like, I was in India last week and I wasn't. I feel like him being like, I showed up to Susan Berman's house. She was already dead. That's not like lying for no reason.
What are you at towards the end?
I got one more episode. It's great.
The last one is there's a comical moment. I won't ruin it for you.
The whole thing, the second season's been fucking hilarious.
There's a lot of funny in there.
His voice, he starts sounding like Jiminy Glick. It just gets so high.
Yeah.
It's Bob.
Yeah. I hide my money. Yeah.
His whole way of getting out of it, I find so funny when he's like, look, I wouldn't believe it myself.
Yeah.
If I was me, I would think I'm the killer.
Yeah.
I was there, the fingerprints.
I cut one of the bodies
I
up.
cut one of the bodies up. I just didn't do it. He has no evidence. He just brings all the evidence against him. And he's like, I believe it too.
Yeah.
But I didn't. But I didn't do it.
It's amazing he got away with it too for a long time just by saying I didn't do it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's incredible what you could do with money and power.
Yeah, he's such a hilarious character because it's also funny that he's like his one-man mafia.
Yeah.
Like he's like he works like the mob, but it's just one guy. He's like, we got to silence her. But it's just him.
Yeah.
It's just him alone.
It's just him going to California, going to her house.
But it's like total mob, like, all right, we killed her.
Yeah. To silence her.
Yeah.
I did it alone.
Yeah. But it's like he has no one to talk. It's kind of sad. At least the mob is a community.
Well, he had then he got that check.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's the last episode, I assume. She seems like the worst person ever. I assume
she's incredible.
I assume she becomes pretty complicit by the last episode.
She gets everything she wants. She's the one who kind of wins.
She's such an ice cold
She's
bitch.
so fucking cold. It's crazy.
She's one letter away from charlatan. Her last name's like Chariton.
Yeah, she is an interesting character.
She is so cold.
She's interesting.
They're all Jews. This is not the best time. Jews are in a bad place, and then this fucking documentary of.
Yeah. Yeah, we probably should have brought up a better. Who's a great? How about Hank Greenberg?
Yeah, he's good.
He was a great Jew.
For every Anne Frank, there's a Jeffrey Epstein. You know, we do both. We do both very well.
Yeah.
Hank Greenberg, that's a deep cut.
Hank fucking Greenberg, dude, could hit
Sandy
the shit out of the ball.
Koufax.
Sandy Koufax. A lot of people said.
And that's it.
He's like, yeah, that's it right there. Oh no, don't forget about Daniel Shays.
Who's that? What team was
Remember
that?
Daniel Shays? Goggles?
No.
Daniel Shays?
Hoops?
Hoops? Phoenix?
No.
Danny Shays?
Danny Shays? What?
Jewish basketball player.
80s?
90s. Early 90s, late 80s. Danny Shays.
Isn't there a Jewish basketball player now in the NBA?
Julian Edelman really was great for the Jewish athlete.
Right.
He's a Jewish guy who was incredible.
Is he the one? He did a pod with Sam, right?
He did.
Yeah.
Let's think about some Jewish athletes. There's got to be some chess players.
I actually don't know.
Let's pull it up. Maybe we can pull it up.
I mean, I think that Hank Greenberg, Sandy Koufax are the big
Hank
ones.
Greenberg and Sandy Koufax are big ones. Those guys were Hall of Famers.
Amari
You got
Stoudemire.
Amari Stoudemire.
Oh yeah,
Converted.
Bobby Fischer was either Jewish or anti-Semitic. I can't remember which for chess.
Ryan Braun, baseball player.
Dude, that's a great one. That's a great one.
I mean, shoes. You know,
Sue
Sue
Bird.
Bird. She's one of the best
WNBA.
basketball players of all time.
we had someone on the Storm. Oh hell
Look
yeah.
at this, Sean Green. He was also of the tribe.
I mean, it's not great that
Dick Savitt, tennis player.
it's not great that fourth we're already going to the WNBA, but
That's not great. It's a lot of baseball, a lot of
Hank
unathletic.
Greenberg, Melissa.
Yeah, here's a good one. Jason Lezak.
Oh
He was
yeah.
an Olympic swimmer. That's big.
And then you got a bunch of wrestlers. I don't know
Yeah.
if the Jewish.
I don't know if we go back up with the swimming. I don't know if I'm more surprised by the Jew or the black guy in the pool. I'm gonna have to go black guy in the pool on that one. Ooh, look at this,
Marshall Goldberg.
We've gone from the WNBA to the 1930s
That's not great.
when,
Hank Greenberg, WNBA,
And then-
1812, the first
Yeah.
baseball game ever.
and then before blacks could play.
and then this guy from yeah.
Kenny Bernstein's a drag racer. Look at that.
Drag racer?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, look, Max Baer, a boxer. He looks like a tough Jew.
I know that. I remember
Yeah.
that guy.
That was-
Wait, Max
Baer.
I think is he the guy in Cinderella Man?
Could be.
The guy who fights?
Could be.
I think that guy was called like the Bear or
Could be.
something.
How the fuck do you turn off these notifications on your goddamn iWatch?
I just got an Apple Watch.
Yeah, and I don't know how to do it.
I'm going to turn them all off soon.
Yeah.
I hate this shit.
Look at that, Marty Hogan, Ron Mix, a lot of guys you never heard of. Barney Ross,
So
boxer.
old now. It's so old.
Yeah. Lenny Kreiselberg. That's another Olympian though, dude. Gold. He's a gold medal swimmer. There he is, Dolph Shays. I said Danny Shays. Dolph Shays. Oh no, I think Danny Shays was Dolph Shays'
his
son.
kid, yeah.
It
There
was
you
so
go.
funny when they scroll. It would have been so funny if they scrolled down and someone was holding him up to hit the ball in. Yeah.
Then we got Agnes Coletti, Dara Torres,
So funny if that's what
Sid Luckman of the Chicago Bears.
it's all swimmers.
A lot of swimmers and a lot of baseball players.
It's
Hank
so-
Greenberg, there you go. Look at that, Hall of Famer, one of the best hitters of all time.
Yeah, no,
MVP,
yeah.
he
And
won an
Sandy
MVP.
Koufax, number one, yeah.
Sandy Koufax, one of the best pitchers of all time. Didn't have a long career either. He hurt himself.
Hurt himself, and he would never play on Saturday. Would that fuck shit up?
He didn't play in a World Series game.
Yeah, he didn't play in
I
World
mean,
Series
isn't that
game.
like crazy?
Yeah.
Dude, that's commitment. That's fucking commitment.
Commitment to something not real.
That's commitment. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, dude. I've become. I don't know if I believe in the God like the dogma, but I do believe in karma.
Sure,
100%, not 90%.
100%.
I would say like it's part of the fabric of like whatever this fucking game is for like the highest evolved. I don't know what the fuck it is, but I've never not experienced it when I've done
Karma?
something wrong, and I've never not seen it happen for someone who deserved it. Sometimes you got to takes a long time.
Yeah,
It's a weird thing. When it's happened to me, I've known it. It's never not happened.
what's the old Martin Luther King? The universe is the arc of the universe is towards justice or whatever.
At this point in my age, at this point in my life, at my age, I'm certain of it. Like 2 + 2 = 4.
Yeah, there's a great joke. I forget the stand-up's name, but he said, "Yeah, I believe in karma. Karma is definitely real." I was riding my bike and I knocked over this car's rear view mirror, and I was like, "He must have done something really bad to deserve that."
And you know, it's funny. The Indians have that. It's Indian. The India. I think it's. I
They
think.
got really bad karma.
Yeah.
Then.
I think they came.
Oh, you
up
mean
with
not the Native Americans?
No,
Is
no,
that
no,
big?
not those Indians. It's funny that we just still call them Indians.
I know. I guess that was me just assuming you meant the wrong
because
one.
Christopher Columbus was like, they're brown. They're fucking. Those got to be.
He thought it was
Indians.
in India.
Yeah, he thought it was in India.
I mean, frankly, for him, it's not that bad of a mistake.
I mean, listen, dude, he gave him a name.
Yeah. Well, how the fuck is he supposed to know where he
He's not
is?
supposed to know.
He was
Plus,
looking based on the stars.
There was no. He's like, it's really disrespectfully called them Indians, dude. They didn't even call themselves Native Americans. Yeah. It hadn't even been called America yet.
No.
So what were they going to call them? By their chief names? I mean, come on.
By their actual tribal
Yeah,
names?
I mean,
Come
listen.
on.
And what would they do? Dude, they had tobacco there, and they had all this stuff. What, were we not going to take it? They had tomatoes.
Yeah. You got
I mean,
it,
you
yeah.
ask an Italian now, look, because you know the tomato came from America.
I had no
so
idea.
for thousands of years, Italians were not eating sauce.
What the fuck, really?
Yeah. So, like, after you find out they got the tomatoes, how do you not take the place?
Yeah.
How do you go, you guys keep this?
Yeah, you can't.
After
yeah.
after you fucking have a little
I
bolognese.
didn't know about the tomato. I support the genocide now.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the tomato.
I, too, support the genocide.
I didn't know.
Check out the special right now. Again, the details are.
It's called Brave. It's on YouTube. And if you don't want to type in my name, which is difficult, you can just go to this this website. Go to www.bravespecial.com. It'll take you right to the video. Watch it now. It's,
And you also have another special up there that they can check after.
Yeah, I have a
that,
couple
too.
specials
A couple
there. Yeah,
specials on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's worth a watch if you're a comedy fan. Check it out. Also, watch his podcast with Joe List. You guys still doing that? The movie stuff?
Yeah, we did one yesterday. Yeah.
So check out that. What's that called again?
Joe and Raanan talks movies.
Joe.
He has a kid now, so every movie he watches, he just cries, and then we talk about that. He's like, Godzilla. You don't know how until you've had a kid, you don't understand how moving Godzilla -1 is. Which is a great movie, by the way.
It is.
A masterpiece. I saw it the other day.
Yeah. Well, dude, this was great.
Oh, so much fun. I'm
this
so
was
glad we got
much
to do
fun.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming down. Of
course, man.
Check out those specials, the new one, and then go back and watch the previous ones. Peace.
Thanks.
Special shout out to exclusiveautoshipping.com. You're moving your car out of state. You bought it out of state. Hit up exclusiveautoshipping.com. Get a free quote. Student and military discounts apply. If you bought a car out of state, just hit up exclusiveautoshipping.com. Or if you're moving, forthefree.art. If you're going to Hawaii and you want to know about what bands are going on, check out forthefree.art. They're great. Nate Linder, the best. NateLinder.com. He's working with us. Maybe he'll work with you. He's doing a great job so far. Nate is a marketer, digital marketer. He helps businesses across the world create high-performing websites, rank #1 on Google, and profit from digital advertising. NateLinder.com. Check him out. Think marketing, think Nate Linder. Love Nate Linder. DisplayPros.net. Love these guys. They're the real deal when it comes to custom trade, show booths, retail fixtures, promotional items. Unbelievable. Whatever you need, hit up DisplayPros.net. They'll work with you to make sure you're completely satisfied. You get 10% off your order, your first order, if you tell them Yannis sent you, DisplayPros.net. So if you're getting ready for a trade show, setting up a retail space, or you need some promotional items, you know who to hit up. If you need insurance, you hit up MA Insurance Services right there. Call them up, 727-575-1560. Okay? We've had fans use MA Insurance Services. So MAInsuranceservices.com as well. Hit them up. All types of personal and commercial and business liability coverages. Rebelsraiders.com. Rebels-raiders.com. Rebels-raiders.com. If you're preparing for a war, hit this guy up. Military surplus, packs, load-bearing equipment, magazine holsters, shit like that. Custom T-shirts. The bags that are incredible. Probably his bestseller. He still doesn't have them, but hopefully you'll get them in soon. Or maybe they were just a way to get me in love with him, so then he can prepare my fan base for war. I don't know what it is, but go check him out at rebels-raiders.com. I mean, amazing stuff that he's got up there for sale. Suds Auto Spa, Johnny Pappas out there in Bridgeville, south of Pittsburgh. They specialize in automotive longevity services, ceramic coatings, paint protections. You know, it makes your car look sweet. Storage solutions, car capsules. These storage assets are designed to keep your car dust free, safe from impacts, mildew, everything. Give them a call, 412-564-5033. You can email them at info@sudsautospot.com. He will travel also. The bigger the job, the farther he will travel. Pittsburgh's premier auto spa. PCB Tech Art. They just sent us, dude.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What do we got?
These dudes are the real deal, man.
What are we looking at?
Look at what we're looking at, dude. PCB.art. I'm sorry. Yeah.
PCB Tech.
Yeah,
Art.
sorry. Yeah. PCB Tech Art. See, when you send me shit, you get a longer fucking promo.
Ooh. This is like one of those unwrapping videos.
Yeah. The fuck did you wrap this in? Look at that. Yannis Pappas hour.
What is that? Let me
So
see.
you can just spray paint over it, or you can fucking put your dick on it, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Put your
Yannis
dick in
Pappas
it.
hour.
That's like a stencil?
Yeah, it's like a stencil.
You can stencil your dick with it.
Yeah, you can stencil your dick with it. You can, I guess you can you can make that into whatever you want. We can spray paint it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, explain to us what this stuff is.
I'm still having trouble with that first thing now.
Now here's the stuff he's made.
Okay. What are we looking at here?
Oh, look at these
Wait,
cards,
talking to
dude.
the mic. Yeah. What we
Look at
got?
these cards. These are their cards. Chase Allen.
Ooh, you could cut up some lines with those.
Look at that, dude. You could cut up lines with this. This is his business card. It's got a microchip in it. I don't know exactly what this is.
Is it a metal business card?
Professional engineering consultants. You guys do any hacking? Let's talk. Experience in space, defense, and automotive industries. Oh, they do some shit. I actually may want to talk to them.
Yeah.
PCB Tech Art. I'm going to DM you, actually. And look at that, dude. NASA. They made that for NASA.
Check
These
that
guys
out.
are real deal. Yeah, and then they made some fun stuff for this golf club. You know? Keychains, ball chains. Put your dick in them.
A lot of shit to put your dick in.
So I'm giving them a tagline they didn't want. No, don't put your dick in it. These things got microchips in them, so I don't really this is egghead stuff, but these are it's like a ball chain or whatever.
Keychain?
Yeah, keychain thing.
With microchips?
Very cool. Give us some more copy. Oh, look, Tim Dillon. Look at this shit.
Oh, you did something for Tim?
Yeah, dude, he can do this for us. Should we just have him do some shit?
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pay you to do some shit, and then we'll sell them.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Look at that, the Tim Dillon show. That's very fucking cool. Very cool. So PCB Tech Art. You can check him on Instagram, PCBTE chart.
Wait, you got that wrong. Would you say it again?
No, PCB Tech. Oh. At PCB Tech Art. Yeah, there it is. So go take a look on Instagram, or you can go to PCBTechArt.com. 10% off your order with the code Yannis10. Consultations, prototyping, 3D printing services, keychains, ball markers, ball tags. Hit me up, DM me, and tell me what all this is. It's marketing swag. Let's make some shit.
Okay.
What should we do? T-shirts? Do they do T-shirts?
No.
Let's definitely do T-shirts.
It's all metal. These dudes
yeah,
work
but
in
they
metal.
do T-shirts too, right?
I think.
What,
Yeah.
who does T-shirts? Let's get some fucking T-shirts made. How about some fucking ball markers? I mean, whatever. Dude, let's have a fucking keychains, a Yannis Pappas Hour keychain.
Sure.
Or whatever the fuck you guys do, let's make it. It's ball, fucking ball holders.
Something to put your dick in.
Yeah, somebody needs to make a bra for balls, because I need one. All right, what else we got?
That's it.